Yes, you can. Thank you for watching. But the truth is a little bit more nuanced than this. So let's get to the bottom of this together. I always knew that health and fitness was an important reason why people rode their bikes, but something was really revealing to me and something that I didn't expect. I ran a survey on my website and I asked people, why do you ride your bike? And I gave them 4 options, and 15% responded to save money, 15% responded to clear their head and to live stress-free, 65% of them responded that they rode their bike for health and fitness reasons, and only 5% responded for some other reason. So fitness is a great deal why we ride our bikes. That's very clear now. And some people assume that just because they hop on their bike, they're going to start losing weight. But the reality is a little bit more complex. And when they step on the scale a few days after they start riding their bikes, or maybe a few weeks after they start riding their bike, they will be surprised to see that the needle just barely moved, or didn't move at all, or that it moved in the wrong direction. So, can you lose weight from casual cycling? That is the big question. So, here we're talking about not racing, not getting on your bike, getting changed in Lycra and riding for hours and hours on your road bike, but just go down to the market or run some errands, go down to the post office, bike commute, just go to your workplace even a couple of days a week. Can you lose weight from that? And the answer is yes, but we need to explain a few things. Now let's explain how your body uses energy, where it takes it from, and how weight loss happens. So imagine this is my body. This container, this bucket is my body. And it has a hole in the bottom. And that hole in the bottom represents how active I am. The smaller the hole, the less active I am. And the bigger the hole, the more active I am. Now the water level represents my body weight. And the water dripping out at the bottom of the bucket is the amount of energy I use throughout the day. And the amount of water I am pouring into the bucket represents the amount of energy that I ingest in my meals and in my drinks throughout the day. So, if I manage to pour in the exact same amount of water as the amount that's dripping out at the bottom, the water level remains constant. However, if I pour water in at a higher rate, faster than the water that drips out at the bottom, the water level rises. But if I manage to pour in water at a slower rate than the amount of water that's dripping out at the bottom, then the water level slowly goes down. And this is weight loss. You're ingesting less energy with your meals than the energy that is needed to keep you going throughout the day. Now there are 2 ways to decrease the water level in the bucket. And one of them is by pouring in less water. And the other one is by increasing the size of the hole in the bottom of the bucket. Imagine if I made this hole really large the water would be running out much faster. And this is where cycling comes into play. By increasing your level of activity throughout the day, you make the hole on the bottom of your bucket larger, and thus spending more energy than before. It's magical. In a way, the fat that is stored in your body becomes the fuel that pushes you forward, which is really cool. Now, let's see the maths, the basic maths, and how much weight you can lose by cycling casually. Let's assume that you're an average person weighing 85 kilograms or 187 pounds. If you ride your bike for an hour, you will burn somewhere between 350 and 750 calories, depending on your speed and a few other factors. So let's settle it right in the middle. Let's call it 550 calories an hour. So if you burn 550 calories an hour riding at a moderate pace of 12 to 13 miles per hour, if you ride your bike for half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the afternoon, that's 1 hour. That's 550 calories burned in 1 day. Let's assume that you ride your bike 5 days a week for 4 weeks straight. So 4 consecutive weeks. So if you do the math and multiply 550 by 20, because that's 20 days, you get 11,000. So you will burn 11,000 calories in 4 weeks. So what does that mean in terms of weight? So 1 pound or 450 grams of body fat contains 3,500 calories. So if your body takes 1 pound of body fat stored in your body and turns it into energy that it can use, then it can release 3,500 calories from that pound of fat. So if you do the math and you divide 11,000 by 3,500, you get 3.14. That's a pie number. You get a pie, but don't eat the pie. So let's just call it 3. So that's 3 pounds of fat burnt in 1 month. That's just under 1.5 kilograms, 1.5 kilograms. So that amount of fat is burnt from cycling alone. Now, that may not seem very much, because an 85 kilogram person losing 1.5 kilos, that's less than 2% of your body weight. But in reality, if you try and hold out 1.5 kilograms for a minute or 2 minutes, you're gonna realize that is a lot of weight. That's a big deal. Now, this calculation is only an average and an approximation, and everybody is different. We're all different sizes and weights, and we ride at different speeds. So this is just like a rough calculation, but I'm going to link to a calculator in the description if you want to get a more precise, a more accurate guess of how much you may burn during your ride. And the other side of the equation is how much do you eat. Now, I'm going to assume that without cycling, your calorie intake is just the same that your body needs in 1 day in order to keep you going. So that you're not gaining weight, you're not losing weight, you're just maintaining weight. So if you add exercise by cycling, that is going to potentially reduce your weight. But here's the catch. As soon as you become more active, your hunger level also increases. It just goes up. So how you deal with that hunger is very important. If you're burning an additional 550 calories a day, but you intake more than 550, then you're going to gain weight. Now, we're quite terrible at estimating just how much energy is contained in our food. So here are a few things that contain roughly 550 calories. That is the amount of calories that can fuel your ride for an hour. Well, You can have 2 Snickers bars, or you can have 1 large serving of French fries. You can have half a portion of a normal sized Big Mac meal. You can have 2 slices of Domino's pepperoni pizza. You can have 2 bottles of Coke, 2.5 pints of beer, or 130 grams of cheddar cheese. Now, that puts things into perspective. It's a bit scary too, because a large portion of fries doesn't seem very much when your hunger level is through the roof. But the good news is that there are some foods that are not so dense in calories, so you can eat a lot of them without intaking a lot of calories. And these foods are mostly meats, fish, vegetables, some fruits, and here are 3 examples of foods that you can eat without penalizing yourself on calories. But before I do that, if you like this video, why don't you just hit the like button down below, or just dislike it if you don't like it. So 350 grams of chicken breast, 1.6 kilograms, that's 1,600 grams of broccoli, 5 medium-sized bananas. These also contain 550 calories, but they satiate you much sooner. Now, this is not a video about nutrition, so we're not going to delay more on this, but it's important to understand that your energy comes from the food that you eat. Now, the complete picture is a lot more complex than this, and this is just a very simplified version and a very roundabout way of answering the original question. So can you lose weight by casual cycling? And as long as you manage to eat less calories than the amount of calories that you burn, yes. And cycling is a great way of helping you achieve that goal. Cycle down to the post office, go down to the grocery store, go out for a weekend ride, or start bike commuting. Those are great ways, small ways of adding activity to your day, extra activity to your day. The key is to find something that you enjoy doing, that doesn't become a burden or doesn't become bothersome when you have to get on your bike or do something. So if that's something, if cycling is something that can help you do that, then it's great. So if I have to go anywhere that I can get to within 20 minutes riding my bicycle, and I don't need to carry a lot of stuff, then I don't even think about it. I just get on my bike. I don't even consider taking the car. And I call this the effortless fitness principle, because I know that when I need to get something done and I get on my bike, then I kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm getting fitter, and I also get errands done, all the while having a great time. Now, if you're looking for some practical advice, I made another video for you on how to turn bike commuting into a habit. I'm going to put it here so you can watch it after this. And if you like what you see, hit the like button, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.